What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. Now into this video I'm going to show you how to configure your mysql database after installing it, and we are going to also create up a database, then later we are going to also delete that database. So now after installing your database using sudo apt install mariadb-server or mariadb_server, or you can say sudo apt install mysql. One of these two commands will work within your Linux system. So after installing your mysql, the next thing it is to start up your service. So to start up your service in Linux, you're going to say sudo system. Some people use service, so we are going to say sudo systemctl, then start. Which service do we want to start, which is our database mysql. Now press enter and type in your password. So after here, you see that our command is successful. It means our database has been started. Now we should be sure that the database it is running, so we are going to check for its status. I'm going to use the same command, but instead of start I'm going to say status. So when you check here, you see our database it is running. So now the remaining thing it is to configure the root password. If you haven't configured the root password, I'm going to show you, or we can also access our database. So I'm going to press Q and I'm going to also clear my terminal. So to configure our root password, let's say you want to change the password of your root user, but before we go to that, let's first enter inside our database. So now to enter the database, this is your syntax. When you say mysql, you provide a -u, which is to prompt you to insert in the user you are trying to access to. Now if it is root, here you are going to provide the name for root, and a -p, it is to provide a password. So right now if I press enter and if I don't know the password for root, I won't be able to access my database. I've inserted in the password, but I'm not prompted to our database. So now if I want to access to a database right away, I have to use sudo in front of my command. So I'm going to use the up arrow key to retrieve my command history, and I'm going to press Ctrl Shift A to move back in front of my words. So here, and I'm going to add on sudo. So if I press enter now here and I type in my password for the user, which is Kali, and press enter, you see that right away I've been taken to my database. And let us list the databases we have inside here. So to list the databases, you're going to say show databases. Remember to terminate. Let me first collect this here. So press enter. You see we have 4 databases here. Now if you want to create up a database, you're going to say create database, and here you can provide a database name which you want to create. Let's say it is GREENET, our YouTube channel, and terminate this. So now if I come back and say show databases, you see that we have our database which we have created, which is called GREENET. I can go on further and also delete this database. Now to delete a database, you are going to use a command which is drop database. I don't know why I'm making errors. So database and database name which we want to delete from our system, which is GREENET. So if I press enter and we list the databases we have, you see that I've removed GREENET. Now you see that here we've accessed our database using sudo command, using also mysql -u, and we provide a name which is root, and also a -p, which is a prompt for the password. So I'm going to exit out of this. Let's say I want to change my password for a database. I can say sudo, then I'm going to say mysql underscore secure underscore installation, and I'm missing a Y, mysql underscore secure installation, and press enter. Sudo installation, yeah, I'm also missing a spelling here, so press enter. So now if you press enter, they ask you the password for your root user. So I'm going to provide in curly, which is a password that comes primarily set within a system, and here they say switch to a Unix socket. I'm going to say no, and here change the root password. So if you want to change the root password, primarily it is curly. If you want to change it, you can provide a new name. So I'm going to just skip, or if you want, personally you can change it. Okay, let's change it. I'm going to say the root password is GREENET and press enter. I change also the password, which is GREENET. Change root password. I see we have a repetition. Sorry, it is yes, then new password GREENET. I was making some mistakes. Then also I type in the new password, and they tell us, do you want to remove the anonymous users? And I'm going to provide a Y for yes. Disallow root remote login. I'm going to say no. But now to configure full setup of your database, it should be a yes. Okay, let me do a yes, and remove the test database, which is a yes, and reload privilege tables. It's going to be a yes, and I've cleaned everything. So now after setting up my database and I've changed the password, this time when I come back and say mysql minus u root and a minus p, press enter, they ask me for the password of a database. I type in my password. You see that right away I don't need to type the word sudo in front, but right away I'm taken to my database. So that's how you configure up a MySQL database inside your Linux machine. Subscribe to my channel, give a thumbs up, and peace.